Okay, so last time we talked about what types of fuel we use to actually create electricity. So now that we have what we use, we're going to be breaking it down by either whether it's renewable or non-renewable. So what these terms mean, okay, renewable just means that it can be replenished. So things that can be grown again are naturally renewable. Okay, non-renewable are things that can be depleted. So things that we can run out of. So if there's only a certain amount of supply and we use it up, we can't make more, at least not in any kind of reasonable time frame. So natural gas, okay, this is one of the fossil fuels. Okay, so this is a fossil fuel, which means that it was made from, old organic matter that's been buried and subjected to high pressures and temperatures. Okay, so that would be one that is non-renewable. Okay, coal is another fossil fuel. Okay, so even though natural gas is gas and coal is a solid, they're both fossil fuels. Really, the only differences are the types of plant and animal matter that they came from and the pressures and temperatures that they were subjected to. So coal is another example of non-renewable. So it is possible to actually run out of natural gas and coal. Okay, and as I said before, these are made from organic compounds, dead plants and animals. So you might say, well, couldn't we make more? And the answer is yes, if you're willing to wait a few million years. So for us, they're non-renewable. Okay, nuclear. Okay, nuclear is another non-renewable one, the way it is currently being used today. So currently we use nuclear, we use uranium and a very specific type of uranium. There are some plans in the works to actually create nuclear reactors around other things like thorium, where you could actually create your fuel, but that hasn't been commercially proven yet. Okay, wind. Okay, we're never going to run out of wind. Okay, it's always going to keep blowing every so often, depending on the place. So wind is renewable. Okay, hydroelectric. Okay, as long as it rains and as long as that river that you dammed still has water, you're always going to have hydroelectric. So that's another renewable one. Okay, solar. Okay, we're always going to have, we're always going to have the sun. And if you want to be pedantic, some people might say, well, the sun eventually will burn out, in a few billion years. And yeah, if you're around then, that'll be a problem, but that's not really an issue for us. Okay, biomass. So just in its name, you know that these things can be regrown. Okay, so ethanol, wood, landfill gas, even garbage. Okay, we can always make more of those. So biomass is another renewable one. Okay, and geothermal. Okay, so again, you could say that in billions of years the planet might cool down to a point where we can't use it, but for us, geothermal is one of the renewable resources. We're not going to run out of it anytime soon. Okay, and lastly down here, okay, so oil, that is the third type of fossil fuel. Okay, so natural gas is a gas, coal is a solid, and oil is a liquid. Okay, so those are the three types of fossil fuels. Okay, and so oil, because it's a fossil fuel, will be over here with non-renewable. Okay, tidal, as long as tides come in and out, okay, we're going to have that as a source. So even though it's not really widespread, it is an example of another renewable energy source. Okay, so you might say, well, why don't we just go 100% renewable? Okay, why don't we get rid of all of these? And the answer is it's complicated. It has to do a lot with how the electrical grid works and also the economics. So we'll be talking about that a little bit more next week.